Reading a book. This is going to be a series of short tapes on reading a book. Reading literature work is a study about specific details. Think of yourself as an adventurer traveling across the landscape of your fictional work. You need to grasp and delineate the high and low marker points for travelers who will follow you. If you focus on the detailed techniques included in this series, you should have no trouble excavating multiple literary meanings. You should also have no trouble guiding others along your path into this new literary world. Keep in mind to avoid finding only one meaning. There may be one principal meaning that was intended by the author, but you may find multiple meanings exist. Literature is a multifaceted discipline and involves economical, philosophical, historical, theological, psychological pathways or interconnections. Like the twinkles and glamour of jewelry, you will find literature readings fascinating, unusual, and constantly beckoning for multiple interpretations. So try to avoid being pigeonholed into one main reading. Practice putting on different literary lenses or putting on different literary hats as you read, think, and ponder the text. Below you will find 8 basic ways to read literature. You should read actively, read understanding terms and words, read understanding structure, read understanding characters. One I like is read understanding narrators, read understanding gender criticism, read understanding how you might want to discuss the work. So those are the basic ways for reading literature. I mean, you could divide these into other sections or different ways, but those are the basic ways that I'm going to list in this tape or video. So number 1, read actively. The front cover, back cover, prefix, introduction, and table of contents should be read in a slow and serious fashion. Don't overlook these. These clue you into the author's intentions, backgrounds, and logical layout of the text. You can find out what is the peak and the highest intensity by observing these sections. By following this, you will increase your ability to synthesize meanings. Read any sample questions before you read the work. For example, you may get a new romance novel or science fiction novel, and you may have questions yourself as to what this is about. So you can write out questions of what you think the work is about, or what you want to get out of the work. Like maybe you want to get out what is the new technologies that might be in the future. So by fine-tuning in your mind questions before you read, you could then be reading for answers to those questions. This is another way to stay alert. Make up about 9 sample questions to ask yourself about each work that you read. Make up more questions after you have finished reading the work. Another thing you want to do is, when you're reading actively, is to hold a pen or pencil or marker in your hand. This will keep you alert and ready to note important details when they occur. Be passionate when you read. Let the work move you. Willingly enter into the world of the characters. You are reading to know specifically why and how the text is trying to inform you in its critical way about how it sees the world. Mark important words, images, symbols, and patterns on the left or right side of the page margin. You can go on Pinterest, and on my Pinterest, Cupideros 2, under languages, there's all kind of doodles and different border marks and divider marks. You can use these for important points. Circle important page numbers. Write key on the top of important pages. Try to visualize your character's environment. Feel for them. See their world like they see it. This will help you grasp the work's message. Learn to ask yourself 1,001 questions while you are reading. If you're not asking yourself questions while reading the text, you are probably not reading actively. And ask questions after you have read the text as well. What is the big picture? What range of experiences does the text deal with? What range of feelings does it evoke? What do you lack in order to respond to the text? Be aware of the differences between your experiences and the experiences in the text. Has your response to the work changed since you have started reading it? What is your response now? If it has changed, what has changed? Do not insist on conformity. Text can reverse course anywhere in the literary work. The text can reveal itself in various styles, frankly, subtly, musically, artistically, confusingly, paradoxically, and downright oppressively. If you've read books before, you could probably think of examples of how each text has its own different style and way of revealing the story to you. Some stories are interested in pulling you down slowly after a start at the top of a mountain. Other text is concerned with pulling you up, yet down at the same time. It is possible a text may not make any sense. Some literary texts simply are open-ended and cannot be nailed down to a meaning. So that's the first section of reading a book by Cupideros.